Well, I mean, for me, it's completely new. Even the field for me is new. So I've never experienced anything like this. So if you're just asking me, how does it feel? Then it feels completely new. If you're asking people that are going to festivals all the time, they might have a different answer. But I don't think you would see too many plays and too many productions that are going to use like this much physicality and then blending of what might seem to a lot of people as two completely different stories. You know, at two different times, two different countries. And there is a slight intersection, of course, but it's not as linear as you would see a lot of shows. Even if you took, you know, Pulp Fiction and it kind of goes, jumps back and forth or whatever. But when you put all the pieces together, it's completely linear. It's just been broken up. But this is not linear in that traditional aspect, or traditional way of thinking, like, okay, it has to go from point A to point B. It kind of goes all around. And then there are some points where you're like, what is that? Where did that come from? So for me, that part makes it new and fresh. And then you add in the visuals, not just us moving, but the projections and everything else. So I think because it's using all of these different aspects, that makes it newer than anything else. In Japan, it's definitely completely new. I mean, I've seen plays that have used different parts of what we're using, but not using all those different parts together, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. No, I think it's obviously going to appeal to theater folk, the people who enjoy the theater. It's going to appeal to them because any theater should appeal to theater folks. But I think it also will appeal to just your average, regular person who maybe doesn't go out that much to see plays and to see musicals or whatever, and just thinks, all right, fine, I'll go see something. And they're not going to be sure what's going on all the time, and I think that's why it would be appealing once they get in the door. You know, because we're taking people into a different world, in a way. We're taking people into a different type of imagination and a different type of visualness. I don't have a vocabulary, but it takes them into that visualness, and it's not something they would have seen before. So I think that is something that draws them in, and there will be Japanese and English in this play. So if you're here in Japan, then you're going to be understanding possibly the whole thing or possibly different parts of it. And if you're overseas, then you're going to be saying, wow, that's a different language. Maybe I don't really understand it, but that's kind of cool. So I don't think it really matters what kind of person you are. Artists will like it because artists like art, and they should like art, and if they don't, they shouldn't be an artist. But I think the regular, average Joe will also be able to like this. I'm an average Joe. I like it. I'm an average Bob. Well, I found out that my ribs are not as strong as I had expected that they were. So that was good to know. It's good to know your limits. I mean ribs actually on my body, not the ones that you're going to eat. I had never done a show where at the beginning of every practice you play basketball with a tennis ball, or throw the ball at the wall and make up your own rules. And I really liked that, not only because I enjoy sports, but it was kind of, you're working together, and sometimes we're making a new game, and you don't realize that that's part of the creative process that you're going to be using in the actual creation of the play that you're doing. Even just this little, you're like, oh, we're just having fun, we're playing a game, but you're making up the game. You're making up the rules. You're making up how it works and why it's fun, you know. And sometimes we'd add a movement in there where you can only take one step, or you have to move lightly, and you think, okay, it's still part of the game. And then you get into the actual rehearsal aspect, which in your mind, okay, this is the rehearsal part, that was the playtime. And then you get into the actual rehearsal part, which is part of the playtime anyways, because then you're like, okay, let's start with those movements now, and again, not stepping too hard or going lightly, and now here's this new rule, which we had a rule for the game, now it's a rule for the play. And I hadn't done that before. It's always script, stage direction, run it, there you go, you're done. So that was interesting to me, that you could blend something so natural, just playing a game, like as if you were children, and then using that sense of the teamwork that you had playing the game and putting it into this brand new idea that nobody knows where it's going.